In 2013, Credit Suisse lent $2 billion to one of the poorest countries on earth. The money was supposed to buy tuna fishing boats. Almost none of it went to tuna. Mozambique is a country in Southeast Africa. In 2013, it had a GDP of about $15 billion. Most of its people lived on less than $2 a day. 3 state-owned companies were created. Imadum for a tuna fishing fleet, Pro Indicus for coastal surveillance, Mozambique Asset Management for a maritime shipyard. All 3 borrowed money through loans arranged by Credit Suisse and a Russian bank. The total borrowing came to over $2 billion. But here is the problem. Mozambique's constitution requires Parliament to approve any government debt. Parliament was never told. $2 billion in secret debt. In a country where the entire economy was only $15 billion. That is not a rounding error. That is a second budget nobody voted for. The man who made it happen was Manuel Chang, Mozambique's finance minister. He personally guaranteed the loans using government funds, and he personally collected at least $7 million in bribes. On the other side was Privinvest, a Lebanese shipbuilding company run by Iskandar Safa. Privinvest was supposed to build the fishing boats and surveillance equipment. Instead, the company became the pipeline for bribes. Andrew Pierce was a managing director at Credit Suisse. He was the lead banker on the deal. Prosecutors later proved he accepted $45 million in kickbacks funneled through a shell company in the Emirates. The scheme worked like this. A Privinvest executive approached Pierce and offered him a cut. If Pierce could lower the bank's arrangement fees by $11 million, half the savings would go into his pocket. Pierce said yes. 2 other Credit Suisse bankers were also on the take. Detalina Subeva and Surjan Singh both received millions from Privinvest. Subeva was in a romantic relationship with Pierce. But while bankers were cutting deals with prosecutors, the real damage was already done, and it was not measured in dollars. It was measured in lives. When the hidden debt was revealed in 2016, international donors pulled out overnight. The International Monetary Fund froze its aid program. The currency collapsed by 40% in months. Food prices doubled. Hospitals lost funding. Schools closed. Infrastructure projects stopped. A study later found the scandal wiped out an entire year's economic growth and pushed 2 million people deeper into poverty. And the fishing boats? The coastal surveillance system? Almost none of it worked. Auditors found the equipment was massively overpriced when it existed at all. Privinvest had charged up to 5 times market value for vessels that never caught a single tuna. In 2019, the investigation went international. American prosecutors charged 3 former bankers, 1 shipbuilding executive, and the finance minister who signed off on the whole thing. When the FBI started pulling the thread, Subeva cracked first. She agreed to cooperate. Pierce, knowing his former girlfriend was about to testify against him, pleaded guilty too. He became the government's star witness. Pierce cooperated so extensively that prosecutors called his testimony the Rosetta Stone of the case. He pleaded guilty to wire fraud, lost his home. His marriage ended when his affair with Subeva became public. He started a garbage collection business to make ends meet. In March 2024, a judge sentenced Pierce to time served and shook his hand. Jean Boustany was acquitted after a New York jury found the government had not proven its case beyond a reasonable doubt. But in January 2025, Mozambique convicted Manuel Chang. The country's own courts found him guilty of corruption and money laundering. He faces decades in prison. He is 70 years old. Credit Suisse paid $399 million to settle with the DOJ. They also paid $475 million to Mozambican bondholders. The bank no longer exists as an independent company. UBS bought it in 2023. The banker who stole $45 million ended up driving a garbage truck. The finance minister who sold out his country is spending his final years in prison. But the 2 million Mozambicans who paid the real price, nobody is making them whole. Did you see the red flags? What was the first sign for you? Drop it in the comments.